Hi everyone, this is Chef Mark and welcome to my three-part video of how to grill vegetables. I made this video and took a look and said, gosh, this thing is almost 25 minutes long. I'm going to break it up into a couple of segments, so I hope you enjoy each one. I'm going to go over how to cut vegetables, how to preheat your grill, how to let things rest, and finally how to serve them. So do me a favor, if you haven't done it already, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I got a lot of great stuff coming, and let's check out part one. If you're like me, you love cooking on the grill. And one of the things that's so popular any time of year is grilled vegetables. But how do you maximize your approach to make sure that your grilled vegetables are cooked evenly and delicious? Well, it starts with knife skills. So let me show you the best way I found to cut several popular vegetables for the grill. Then I'm going to show you some best practices to march them across the grill so that they cook evenly, and finally, some serving suggestions. Let's get started. All right, today, red onions, peppers, zucchini, and squash. All right, let me start with zucchini and squash here. You need a large, sharp knife. I like a 10 or 12-inch chef knife, a large cutting board, trash bowl, of course, everything's washed and ready to go. And we're gonna talk about how to cut peppers and onions as well. All right, so for my zucchini and squash, cut off top and bottom. All right, into the red bowl. Makes great compost as well. Okay, similar, if you caught my carrot video, use your words, Mark. Similar, where we're gonna quarter these. A little easier because they're soft. You don't have to steer your knife as much. Now, here's that so handy fillet cut. So what I wanna do is I wanna get rid of these seeds. These seeds are full of water. They just make everything mushy. They don't have any flavor. So we're gonna go ahead and use ballerina fingers, set that on top, and I'm gonna use my fillet cut to cut that off. You don't have to get them all off, but you definitely wanna get the majority. When I'm doing the fillet cut, I wanna be backwards enough. See how my hand's off the cutting board? That's correct. That allows me to move my knife without having the knuckles bang against the cutting board. Okay. And then, just work your way through these. Okay, zucchini, same, cut. I like to leave them whole. I grill them whole, and then after the grill, I can cut them into any shape or size that is gonna work for me. I like to keep them whole so they don't fall through the grill grates. Okay, same thing here. This will take a little bit of practice. At first it might feel tedious, and that was true for me as well when I discovered this. I worked in a restaurant years and years ago, and it was my first executive chef job. And the chef mentor who worked at the hotel next door, it was the same company, different branded hotel, he would come over and show me these tricks. And at first I didn't think it was worth it, but his food looked so much nicer than mine, so I finally got on board. Here's another way you can do it too. You can do triple, so you can go cut. So you can do 3, and that essentially pulls out the center. See, I missed a little bit there. I think that's harder. For me, I'm gonna try it again here. Either way works. When you get these bits here, these don't grill very nicely anyway, so I'm just gonna get rid of that. Cut, and then sometimes that last one. That was a little better, but I still don't prefer that as much because you still get quite a bit in there. So, but if you're learning this knife skill, by all means, whatever works. Last one, and then we'll move on. Okay. Oop. Yep, there we go. I forgot what I was doing there for a second. Yeah. Okay. And when I'm buying zucchini, I look. I gotta clean this one up. When I buy zucchini, I look for ones that are straight and about the same width across top to bottom. So this will feed quite a few people actually. Typically after I grill them, I might cut them twice to have nice planks. And these, of course, are lovely both served hot and cold. All right. Okay, zucchini squash. These you can cook together. They cook more or less at the same time. I find the zucchini cooks slightly faster than the yellow squash, but not enough so to say, hey, I need to separate those. But peppers. All right, cut off bottom and top, top and bottom. Pop off this. Don't throw these out. These are, we're gonna grill these, and I like to leave them whole once again so they don't fall through the holes of the grill. And then here's that fillet cut, which again, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you're very familiar with. One of my favorite ways to cut that vegetable. One of my favorite ways. My favorite way to cut that vegetable. There we go. And then this, again, this whole plank, I can set this on the grill one piece and I don't have to worry about it falling through. I can mix all these vegetables. I'm gonna put them in a container until tomorrow when it's a little bit more conducive to grilling. It's cold and wet right this moment. Very unusual spring weather for Denver. Okay, so this, again, I can combine all these. I don't really need to worry about, because I'm gonna go through and cook each one. I'm gonna steer each one across the grill individually so they all have different cooking times anyways. All right, and then red onion. I just shave off the root end, cut off a fair amount of the non-root end, cut it in half, intersecting the root end, okay? And if you've been watching the channel, once again for a while, please don't cut your onions in half through the equator, cut them through the meridian. The only time you might want to come through the equator is if you're doing slices, like rings of onion for sandwiches, but once you do that, then you really kind of shoot yourself in the foot for dicing or making wedges or any other great way you can cut an onion or shallot. Okay, so I peel off that first layer. It's almost always leathery and not very nice, so it usually comes off with the first layer. And then I'm going to cut this into wedges, and ideally I'd like to get a little bit of the core in each piece of onion to hold them together so when they hit the grill, they're less liable to fall apart. Okay. All right. These look great. So next, stay tuned because I'm going to go to the grill. We're going to march all these across the grill. I'll show you some grilling tips and then finally some serving tips. We're back at the urban homestead. You can see how beautiful the backyard is from the constant rain we've been getting just prior to making this video. So, part 2 here of our grilled vegetables. I'm gonna be grilling zucchini, squash, and peppers. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and grill these. I'm gonna let them cool off. And then for my event, I'm gonna reheat them in a saute pan. So it's important that I don't overcook them because they need to be able to hold up to a second round of heat without being overcooked. So I'm gonna show you some best tips here for grilling these. And then, of course, we're going to taste a few, and I'll let you know how I think they taste.